mouth, better add your respect. Otherwise, pressure gon' be at your neck when I burn you like. This ain't a game, my aim is the throne. I'm much higher than you, like a rocket, a drone. I'm powerful, think of a stone. Throw it off in my brain and I'm back to the bone.
Welcome back to the KDL, everybody. I am Wolf. With me is Peter today, and we have 3 team matches coming at you today, and they are some of the best you could ever hope for. How are you feeling tonight?
I am really excited, especially for those matches you mentioned, Wolf, because the team matches today are so well balanced that even with the first match not having any professional teams, it's a match between 2 amateur teams, but you know, it could go either way.
So we do have later on, Live Sandbox is playing. We are going to have MIRAENSEJONG taking on KWANGDONGFREECS. Rox is playing. So our first matchup, as you mentioned, is going to be always against Desperado. Not the highest level match, but high stakes, especially for always down the bottom of the standings. And for our other 2 matches, we have a really, really sick lineup. But before we talk about that a little bit further, let's remind everyone what's at stake in this tournament. We'll show you guys, the overview of the tournament, some of the things that you should know if you haven't been paying attention. Here is the schedule for team matches, and you can see the postseason starts on the 18th. We'll go into a wild card match then, and it's a new format, so you get that extra spot in 5th place to have an opportunity. Then we go to upper, lower bracket finals, double elimination. The finals will be on December 9th.
And as you can see, the main stage ends on the 11th of November, so we don't have much days left before we get to that postseason. And now let's take a look at the prize pool for the season. Of course, we have a fantastic prize pool this time around for the regular season.
Yeah, it's quite large, and of course we do have that new MVP and the fan race MVP additionally there. So you can see even if you do drop out at the bottom, there's 3 million won up for grabs. You'll have to share it with your teammates, but 100 million won for the champions is quite a large prize pool. So it's a lot on the line here for our team matches. Of course, there are additional prizes available for the solo matches, but that's not what we're having today, because today is our big team match day.
And these team match days are the steps you kind of build up to get to that first place prize, right? It's looking like KWANGDONGFREECS is most likely going to be our first place team in the league, but they could be challenged today.
So these are the results from last Wednesday, the 25th. You saw KWANGDONGFREECS took out Finale 2-0. Not a surprise, right? Live Sandbox will be playing today. Also took out Always 2-0. And then you'll see finally Rox also taking out Nutmite 2-0. So last week we had 3 2-0s, and I don't think that is going to happen today, but you could see several of the teams that are actually playing this evening did play last week. And then, of course, on Saturday, our team results, we had a pretty close series between Nutmite and Finale, and then MIRAENSEJONG took a perfect series against Desperado.
That was the first perfect series that we've seen so far in the season, so that's a really strong showing from MIRAENSEJONG, who will be playing today. And of course, in the solo matches, Hojun, Hyunsu, and Luning, 3 really big players made it out as the top 3, and then Ding and Woojun, they made it to the 5th place.
Yeah, Dusty Promise and Percent couldn't quite make the cut, but it was a pretty tough group. We called it the Group of Death, and it lived up to its name. So glad to see Hojun go through. His driving has been phenomenal. The guy has been around forever, and he just does not weaken as a player. I'm always really happy when I see older players continuing to do well in newer leagues. And Hojun, maybe he could take the whole thing. Maybe he wins the first KDL season here in 2023.
That's certainly what the fans want to see. We've had Preseason 1 and Preseason 2 Kickstarter KDL, and he's been doing well, which is reflected in the standings. We can see MIRAENSEJONG in 2nd place right now. They're 3-1. If they take down KWANGDONGFREECS today, they could overtake them. They just need to get better in the set scores.
Yeah, notice also they have a round score advantage over Kwangdong Freaks. They did, of course, take that +6 from their perfect match against Desperado, so that is part of the reason why they are so high up there. But as you mentioned, a win today, especially a dominant one, would push them closer. If they 2-0 Kwangdong Freaks, it will put them ahead of them, in fact, in first place. So very big one. Live Sandbox struggling a little bit this season compared to seasons past. They've had a tough strength of schedule, but definitely a win they need to take tonight against Sungnam Rocks if they're going to solidify their position in the standings. They do not want to play in that wild card match. They'd rather just go straight to postseason.
Certainly so, and for our amateur teams, Desperado and Always really needs to win against Desperado today to have a chance to make it to the postseason, whereas Desperado, they're honestly in a very solid position right now. They need to make sure that they don't fail to capitalize a win off of today.
Yeah. Always can still make postseason, make that wild card match, but it is really important to win this one. You can see they're not the favorites. In fact, 15-85 here. This is our fan prediction. Sungnam Rocks against Live Sandbox, very heavily favoring Live Sandbox, even with some of the slump we had this season. We checked the poll earlier, and it was actually almost reverse. A lot more people expecting Sungnam Rocks, but as more votes came in, people went back to Live Sandbox. And then a pretty contentious final prediction here. MIRAENSEJONG picking up almost 40. That's literally what you predicted. There would be a 60-40.
Yeah.
And it's almost exactly that.
Certainly so. MIRAENSEJONG looks so good this season, but because Kwangdong Freeks, they're undefeated and they are that preseason champions, we can see the fans putting a lot of trust there. And I'm just really surprised about the 81% on the side of Live Sandbox, because I feel like Sungnam Rocks, despite not having a roster that we've seen proven time and time again, they have had a phenomenal result so far. Even better than Live Sandbox if you take a look at the standings. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's more evenly matched than an 81-20.
We'll see if Live Sandbox can take this one, because I think there are believers and there are doubters, right, for Live Sandbox this season. There are people who are like, no, they had a pretty tough strength of schedule. They had some rough losses. They should have won. They didn't play up to their standards. I could trust this team. This team always goes deep. Well, there are other people saying maybe the time of Live Sandbox is over. You know, some of these other teams are looking better and better. We have MSJ coming through. Sungnam Rocks looks strong this season. Kwangdong Freaks definitely looks to be clearly better at this moment in time than Live Sandbox. So, you know, for Live Sandbox, now's the time to prove that it's not just a fluke. It wasn't just a weak start to the season.
But before we can talk about Live Sandbox, of course, we do have the first match of the day between Team Always and Desperado, as Team Always first takes the stage. And if there's anything about this team that stands out, it's Diamond.
Yeah, I mean, he is a very skilled player. And this roster, obviously, we talked about how it has a very large group of players they can pull from here. But Diamond, the speed ace, the ace player, looked fantastic in Always his first win, their only win so far of the season. And I think he's a player who has a lot of potential. Maybe he moves to a different roster after this season if they don't make postseason, but they're definitely aiming to. Desperado, on the other hand, their opponent tonight feels like a rising crowd favorite, right? You know, Banana at the helm here. This is a team that has so many famous players. This is a team you want to root for. And they are on the edge of being a top team here in the KDL 2023 season, but they're not there yet.
They're not there yet, but they're on a good path, so they really need to make sure they're able to win today against Team Always, which is arguably a easier opponent to face than a lot of the other professional teams that we have. For instance, Team Always is really struggling in speed, so if Desperado can win speed and also have a good performance in item, like they have already been doing throughout the season, then it should be a fairly straightforward win condition for them.
I think so, and you've got to recover from that loss against MIRAENSEJONG just a few days ago. That's a tough loss. I mean, MSJ definitely one of the best teams and one of the big dark horses to win it all, but you do not want to fall 0-6 like that. So time to bounce back. Now for Always here, first victory in speed match. Has ALS finally opened the gates? That is the question everyone is asking. As you see, Ming, Diamond, Move, Knight, and Node are lined up using the doing the little fan placards. I don't know what there's like a name for this now. This was not in my esports generation, right? You know, I'm one of the older esports casters. It's a new trending thing, and I don't know what they're called, but they're holding them up. They've got a lot of support from the fans here, even though they are an amateur team.
And they're saying, we thought the venue was going to collapse with all the cheering.
Yeah, like I said, getting more popular these days, this roster. But they still have a long way to go, and their postseason is definitely not guaranteed. They need to take this upset tonight.
And that upset is going to be key for whether Diamond will get some support as he runs for the top positions. But of course, Team Desperado, this team, hasn't been struggling as much as Team Always as far as speed goes. And of course, in the item mode, they have Banana there, one of our starred players. They have a 100% win rate right now against amateur teams, so they really need to keep that up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the cutoff point we've been seeing with a lot of these teams is you can't beat the pros, you can beat the amateurs, and these players are so experienced. And so there's a world in which, you know, Desperado starts to break that ceiling and beat some of the pro teams later on, but you cannot, you know, go from losing to MIRAENSEJONG and then drop to Always if you want to actually keep the hope alive. They have the confidence. 2-0. Banana puts up 2 fingers. 2-0, that's what we're looking for tonight. This is what he is saying to everybody. He looks confident. He's got that little sheepish grin. And I think there's no denying that they are massive favorites tonight, but one slip-up could change everything in the standings.
And that slip-up can't happen today. As we take a look at the speed track list, we have Team Always getting the first choice for the speed track because Team Desperado, they won the coin flip and they actually prioritize item mode. And we can see World Tour, Miami Drive, Bayside Bridge Run, Shanghai Circuit for Team Always. So we're not seeing the standard tracks that we see a lot from the confident professional teams. Actually, it was Team Desperado taking those tracks that I just mentioned.
Yeah. Handy Harbor banned. You know, we saw that be a MIRAENSEJONG favorite. We'll see if we see it later on tonight, but definitely a track that, you know, I think if you're the stronger team, you might say, let's play on this one because we're better than you, but also a track with a lot of volatility where if you mess up just once, you might end up losing that one. So starting things off on Miami Drive, also pretty interesting here. One of our newer tracks. We'll see if Always have prepared those booster lines here. Maybe they can take the upset, but it has to start right here, right now on World Tour Miami Drive. Here we go, Always versus Desperado. We are getting close to the end of the regular season here for the 2023 KDL. And Desperado with a fantastic start.
They are definitely breaking apart from the group of Team Always right now. Diamond, the only one, once again, trying to contest. Finally, Move does make it, but 1-2-3 is pretty firm in the hands of Desperado as Diamond, he takes some big collisions there.
Yeah, Diamond's collision definitely going to hurt their momentum quite a bit. I mean, it's a 1-2-3-4 right now, and Promise can sweep alone. Look at the gap. You could see it in the mini-map there, picture in picture. The overhead is just showing you that Diamond is trying to break through it. Promise is basically just sacrificing his speed to actually widen that gap. A 1-2 is a win condition. A 1-2-3, you know, is just a bonus. And Diamond, you know, he had that really rough collision, but he is recovering now.
He's recovering, but not enough to get within the range to draft. So I feel like Desperado has a pretty free one right now. Free Sky does take a big collision and now opens up a lot of the room for Diamond. You can see Ming and Knight also trying to catch up. So if Diamond can at least break the 1-2, that's hope number 1 for Team Always.
Yeah, really tough here. Nice line there on the booster. You start the drift before you take the jump. You follow it up on the landing. Knight popped back to 8th place here, but that mistake from Free Sky, it looks like it might not matter that much unless Diamond can break up this 1-2. And they're going to need more than that because as we just showed, Knight and Ming are so far behind.
Yeah, you can see a lot of fights in the back line, but just as you said, Wolf, Ming and Knight, they are not within range to help Diamond at all. Diamond did manage to close the gap here as he takes a tight line there, and he could get in the range to draft, but Striker with a great sweeping.
Yeah, Diamond here just gets blocked out by Striker, and we are in the last 500 meters now. Diamond, I mean, he just could not compete. He's being blocked here. Is going to try to pass Striker the last possible second. Won't be successful. Wouldn't have mattered either way, though, because there's a 1-2-4 right now. There would have been otherwise a 1-3-4, which is also a win condition here in Team Speed. Rough start for Always here on their track selection. And it's just one of those races that reminds you there are a team of clear favorites here on the track.
That's what we saw in this first round. It was Diamond trying so hard to deny that 1-2 coming out of Desperado, but it felt like Ghost and Striker. This is the main 2 duo that you want to keep your eyes on when you see Team Desperado play on speed, because they're the ones always trying to contest 1-2, and when that strategy is not challenged, it's going to be really hard to have a comeback.
And starts are so important. I mean, teams like Aura in the past in the preseasons, like Kwangdong now, the best team at it, and MIRAENSEJONG have proven the start is so important. And you get that formation, it's so hard to break. We're going to go to World Tour Terracotta Twister. This is now the track selection of Desperado to see if they could take a 2-0 lead.
And here we go on round 2 of Speed and Terracotta Twister as Desperado. They are leading 1-0, and this time we can see always they have a much better start than track number 1.
Oh, definitely. It's a very competitive start, though. Neither team really pulling that far ahead, but
Ooh.
always Move and Diamond going to push up here, but they collide with each other. Still going to recover here, and FreeSky and Striker way at the back, so this is definitely looking way better for Always, at least in our first lap.
That's what it looks like. Diamond gets some nice blocking there on Ghost, making sure that Ghost can't pass him. It seems like Diamond's going to be the first one to enter our tunnel here. And we see the players. It seems like a player from Always did take a pretty big collision.
Yeah, it definitely did. I think it might have been Move back there, but he's dropped back to 6th place now. Diamond needs to hold on to this first, and that alone won't be enough. But if he gets passed by either Ghost or FreeSky, it looks really rough here for Desperado, or rather for Always. So that is to say, right now, Desperado, though, just 1 point behind. You can see that Ming is significantly far behind the rest of the pack, but it's definitely not a lead that's insurmountable.
The midfield is key right now for Team Always. They need to be keeping up their positions for Diamond because Diamond has such a good lead in first place. Ghost and FreeSky so desperate to catch up. And now we can see Move and Ming locked down into 7th and 8th. They need to get past Striker.
Yeah, or Knight needs to end up getting into 2nd place. I mean, those are the only ways that this is going to go well. Oh, huge collision there for Move. Way in the back now. You can see that there in picture-in-picture. As Ghost will take first place, and now it's looking pretty doomed here for Always. You just do not have enough manpower here to actually pass Ghost, and Ming and Move are so far behind. Ming's far behind, but that's not as far behind as Move is.
It's looking so good for Desperado here as Ghost. He managed to take the first place away from Diamond, and it seems to be a 1-3-5-6 finish coming out of Desperado.
Yeah, Desperado 7 points the lead here, and a much closer race on the first track, but still very dominant in terms of its finish. And just some small mistakes there. Terracotta Twister, not an easy track, but it is one of the most basic and common ones here at the KDL. Perhaps some nerves here for Always as they see their postseason slipping away. And now it is match point here in Speed for Desperado. And what's felt like a very quick start to this matchup. Ghost and Diamond, two players I put in the same category right now, Peter, of players that are very high potential, clearly have, you know, even some of the veterans, they've kind of already surpassed them, but their team isn't holding the weight. And Diamond was up at the front for so long, he had control of the race, but his teammates just couldn't hold up their end. And ultimately, he just runs out of steam as he is outnumbered by Desperado members there.
That's the reason why Team Always, they've only won 1 round in Speed so far, and it's looking pretty rough against Team Always here in Speed. Track number 3, however, is picked by Always. Let's see if they can turn it around in Village Bayside Bridge Run.
Off we go, a 2-0 lead. Desperado 1 win away from actually getting a 3-0 here in Speed. Striker leads, and Diamond, ooh, nice tight line there on the outer to actually take first.
But if you take a look at the midfield, FreeSky gets a phenomenal block there, and now Diamond, once again, he's playing alone against 4 members of Desperado. Striker's applying that pressure now.
Yeah, it does feel like Diamond's playing a little bit of a 1v7 game here, but FreeSky back there in 6th place, continuing to try to sweep out Ming and Move, and I feel like it's deja vu from our previous track. Ming and Move far behind, Knight unable to break through. FreeSky is sweeping, and Diamond once again just outnumbered here at the front, and Ghost can just sacrifice himself to just continue to ram him into these walls.
Ghost has been doing a great job knowing he just needs to keep Diamond locked down as the pressure forces Diamond and Ming to collide into each other. Now the midfield actually looks okay for Team Always. I can't say it looks great, but they need to shut down this 1-2 from Desperado.
Yeah, somebody has to break it. It's going to be Diamond if it's going to be anybody. Ming, I mean, recovered really well here. He's actually going to draft off of Diamond.
Ooh.
And now, I mean, there's a win condition here. Diamond, all he has to do is pass Striker. If they can maintain their current positions, maybe always could put one on the board.
And you can see Ghost really trying to catch up. Now Ming, he's going to fall completely out of his line there. Now, once again, Desperado in great position. Striker attempted some block there, but Diamond and Ming, they're back for some action.
Great usage of team boost there from Desperado to try to regain control. And right now, Free Sky 1-2 is the win condition here. 300 meters to go. Final turn here. They've got to pass Free Sky, and they are not going to do it. 1-2 will come through, and Desperado takes speed 3-0.
Man, I loved the adaptation between running for the 1-2. Not only that, but also sweeping that came out of Ghost and Free Sky that game. And I feel like Team Always definitely had a better shot in this track number 3 than any other rounds we've seen, because Diamond actually finally had his backup, but the sweeping from their opponents was just too much.
Free Sky had a great race.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Ghost took first place and had that really nice Team Nitro he used there to regain control of top 2. But I feel like this game was all about Free Sky. His sweeping was fantastic. He maintained control of top 2. He blocked Diamond so much. And Desperado, there were some challenges here, but otherwise feels like that 2-0 they were asking for might come true. We are going to move into item mode, though, and things can change here. We will have some substitutions, of course. Node coming in for Ming, for Team Always. And they did, Desperado, choose item priority, to remind everyone. So, Always, you know, they just played with their advantage in speed in terms of track selection and got 3-0, and now they're playing in Desperado's court. And this is what Desperado has always been most known for, is item mode, more than speed. So the toughest challenge is yet to begin.
Just as you put it, Wolf, this is where things get even more rough as we see Banana being swapped in for Ghost. And Team Desperado, their game plan today clearly was to win item. That's the only place where they felt a real challenge from Always. And now that they've won Speed 3-0, they got that momentum going for them. It's going to be scary if Desperado wins his first track in item as well.
And Banana, I mean, is there a more iconic item ace than Banana? Like, just name one. Oh, wait. Yeah, I didn't think so, no. Banana, iconic, okay? You look at him, he's smiling. He did a little dance a moment ago. He's pumped. He's ready to go. He said, yeah, maybe we got 6-0'd by MIRAENSEJONG last week. Not tonight. We're going to be the 6-0ers because they look so confident. We are going to Glacier Polar Halfpipe as well for round 3, and this is Banana's playground, okay? A rare World Tour Venice Gondola to come through in round 1. And you see the London Night here chosen by Always, also a track that Banana and Desperado have been very good at across Banana's career here in the KDL preseasons. So it all looks like it's coming up Desperado. If Always can force an ace match and Diamond can take on Ghost, I mean, that's what you're looking for right now. Obviously, that's the path. But walking that path, or driving that road here tonight is going to be so difficult. But it has to start now. The comeback has to begin as we go to the rare World Tour Venice Gondola Tour.
And here we go, our item round 1 begins, and this is going to be a 3-star difficulty track, so we're gonna have those hectic sirens coming in as we see a nice utilization of that water whips. However, it's not gonna stop Knight from getting his double items.
Now there are some wider parts of this track. There's the really funny gondola part here, which is great. I actually got caught by the water bomb there.
Yeah.
But in the narrow parts, that's where the siren is going to be at its most valuable. See how Move decides to use it here. He is very close. Yep,
Oh,
just
there we
gonna
go.
block
Oh.
though. Banana almost recovered that too.
But he did fall out of the map. Now Free Sky gonna take a water whisk to his face. Move trying to get the lead, but Promise is right on his tails.
That's actually quite significant that Banana drops out there, because he's usually the finisher for tracks like this for his team, and the fact that he's in 8th place here in an only 2-lap track means it's very unlikely he'll be able to make it back to that pole position. He is rising through the ranks quite quickly, but still, Diamond here holding onto a magnet, see if he can pick up. Oh, he's just actually going to use it for tempo.
Yeah, and he's going to catch up to his teammates now. 3 players from Always up at top. Striker trying to keep them at bay. The UFO attempted to get some work done, but Move has so much defensive options.
Yeah. Banana still back in 7th. Lightning picked up here for Desperado and a UFO here, so they could try to use that in tandem with Striker as the big Banana.
Ooh.
He messed it up. He's gonna cause himself to spin out.
Some nice water bomb there is going to change up the tempo now. It's Promise taking a huge lead. Diamond, he doesn't have any items, but his teammate is there to back him up as we see Promise. He's holding on to a Lightning.
And Free Sky falls off there. Lightning comes out. Banana, oh man, he is just getting tossed into the river. It's the second time, but he's popping back in here. Can he actually get a shield? He does. Wait a minute, 500 meters to go. They've only got EMPs to hit him. There's a water bomb here. Can he hit it? Free Sky. He's going to try to nitro his way around, takes the shortcut, and he hit that water bomb. Doesn't need it. Banana's just going to take it.
Banana was there, like you said, Wolf. He's the one that's always finishing off these tracks, and he made it. He recovered through all the dives he took into the river. This is why we constantly highlight Banana as our item ace.
Iconic, I'm telling you. My man Banana, he's going to get it done. And he got pushed in the river twice. You know, he got hit by the water bomb on the gondola section as well, and he still gets through first. He has Free Sky to back him up with a water bomb. He didn't need it. He picked up that Banana, and unfortunately for Always, they just didn't have any items to catch Banana. He just tosses the shield on as he crosses the finish line just to make sure. But his driving is just so good, and despite being, I mean, all the cards were stacked against him, as we've said several times, he's still the one who crosses first, and he just knows item better than almost any other player.
Yeah, we can definitely see that Team Desperado, they were able to bait out a lot of offensive items from Team Always earlier on, which is why near the end there, they've only had a Nitrous and EMP waves up their arsenal, which wasn't what they needed to catch up to Banana, but now Team Always, they have a chance to come back here in track number 2, which will be held in World Tour London Nights.
On the streets of London, we will see if Always can come back here. Down 0-1 so far in item, went 0-3 in speed, so 4 tracks down in a row. Knight currently in first place. It's a good start. Ooh, Banana. Ooh. Banana's just getting trolled by the environments today.
Leave Banana alone.
Leave
Banana
alone.
We want to see some safe driving here in Kart Rider, not crashing into a bus full of citizens, as we see now Promise leading the pack. He's holding on to items not really ideal for that top spot, so he's going to fall back for a bit.
Yeah, it's really awkward for him too, because he's only just a little bit behind Diamond, and even the barricade's going to hit him. So he's like, I'm holding on to this magnet, and I can't get any value out of it. This is really unfortunate. There's no value out of going double items either. Okay, now maybe he'll use it if Diamond pulls further ahead. It's just Water Balloon City here.
That's what it looks like, as Knight went for a nice attempt of his own water bomb, but it didn't connect. Promise with a great utilization. Going to be able to block out these UFOs, but not that one.
Yeah. Promise, I mean, if he gets to hold on to this magnet to the 3rd lap and continues to hold this lead, I mean, look at how far ahead he is. It's not like a lead that you can't catch up, but if he gets to hold magnet and then use it at the last second, doesn't need to hold or stack shields. I mean, Free Sky's got 2 Angels. Yeah, and now he's got an EMP, so it's really hard to actually take this guy out.
That is the game plan on the side of Desperado, whereas Team Always, they do have 1 Lightning to bait out an Angel, but outside of that, they do pick up a Magnet. Move is going to hold on to that for a while now, so Move and Promise, these 2 players are going to be key to our final lap here.
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't use the Angel there on that initial Lightning, since they have 2 stacked up, but they really want to have that additional buffer range for that last 500 meters.
And Promise picks up a Lightning for himself as well, a Magnet in his pocket. The Lightning is going to get popped. The Diamond is so far ahead right now, he's holding on to a double Nitrous.
Free Sky in first place with those Angels. Magnet Rush ready for Striker. He's going to pop it here with the Angel, pushing on the Move.
Ooh.
Move gets caught. This is really bad for Always.
And an Angel going to get popped there just in case something comes in the way of Striker. Desperado going to take the 5th round in a row here. That's 2-0 in items now. This team is looking to repeat a perfect match that we've seen from MIRAENSEJONG.
Yeah, against them. They're going to try to bring it back to neutral, you know?
Yeah.
And They're one track away from doing it, and I hate to say it if you're an Always fan, but it just looks like they're going to do it. It looks like it's going to happen. I mean, there's almost no resistance here. Unfortunately, Diamond tried his best in that one, but the item usage wasn't what it needed to be, I think, to actually push the players who had the correct items for a finish coming in. He says 2-0, and we are one track away from it, and you know where we're going. I mentioned it earlier, Glacier Polar Halfpipe for the next track. Track that Banana loves, that Desperado has looked great on. A tougher track to play on. It's their track choice. This deck is stacked.
Desperado looking to come in with the vengeance. They don't want to get 3-0'd. They want to 3-0 their opponents, and they have that chance here on our third round of item here in Glacier Polar Halfpipe. This is match point now here in item round 3. If Desperado wins, we will not have an ace match, as we see Banana being the leader for Team Desperado, trying to get the items first, whatever he can.
Yeah, Banana, the legendary item ace here of Desperado. To take that lead, now holds on to an Angel, so we'll see how he wants to use that. This is a 3-lap track, so he could try to use it for tempo, or he might just play a more supportive role in this track and try to stack those. Is going to probably just toss that EMP away here. Doesn't need that.
Ooh, a nice water bomb there from Promise is going to catch out 2 members of Always. Now you can see a lot of tempo is in the favor for Team Desperado. Free Sky, he's got a EMP as well. Unfortunately not going to be able to block a Water Wisp with it.
No, unfortunately not, but they have 4 Angels stacked up. That is pretty defensive what they can do. Now, the Angels are heavy in that, like, you know, it's going to cost you item slots here, so they need to actually maintain advantage. I like this. Use it for tempo. Try to get Free Sky into a winning position here. Guarantee they can make this jump without a hassle. And now just try to cycle through some additional items. Promise goes for 2 there. Actually only gets the EMP, though.
Yeah, and you can see Always really holding on to their Nitrous, so they're forming a game plan around that item usage as Desperado. They're also making sure to have at least 3 Angels there, as we see some crazy attacks being fiercely traded between the teams.
If you look at Always' item setup here, they have a few Nitros, so, you know, if they want to use that to try to get the high ground and make a magnet play, they need to pick up a magnet. You know, they don't have great tools here. Desperado, on the other hand, only offensive items they've gone through, and we're just going up all Nitro right now, basically. Free Sky's got 2, Diamond's got 2. It's going to be a fast finish, maybe even a photo finish here. They're going on the high ground, like I said. Node passes.
Yeah, Promise gets targeted by the attack. Now Node in the lead with the shield. It feels like a lot of pressure is on the shoulders of Node here. He picks up a double shield for himself.
Hey, Free Sky picks up a Banana. That's not what he wants. Not going to help his teammate with that one. That's a yikes moment for me, and Node might just take it. It's got the shield.
Ooh, that looked close near the end, but Node able to come in right in time to bring a round score back on the board. Now 1-2. You know, it's still a tough road ahead for Always, but it looks much better now.
It does look much better. I mean, it does feel like that was way closer than it needed to be, but it was good enough, right? They had the better setup there at the end. That Banana usage, Promise and Free Sky, definitely there's a little bit of a head scratcher there, but you know, it's not the item they were looking for. Sometimes the RNG gods aren't going to be on your side. They couldn't pick up a magnet. I think they were really hoping for that, and they just tossed those Nitros out and couldn't get the pass. And that's what it comes down to here in the end. So we are going to go to Factory Cogwheel Crush, which is, of course, the track selection of Always. If they can win on their track choice here, which Cogwheel Crush used to be a staple in like PS1, a lot rarer these days. If they can win here, bring it to 5, win that one, I mean, who's to say Diamond can't beat Ghost? I think that's about as close as it gets. I mean, that's almost a 50-50. Gotta get there first. Gotta win 2 in a row here on Cogwheel Crush, then a third to get the reverse sweep and force the ace. Let's find out if they can do it. Always finally on the board here. But it is 1 step of 3. They will need to force the ace.
That's what Always needs to do. They need to get Diamond into that ace match, but for now, we are looking at the inventory. We're seeing a lot of offensive items that's going to get quickly cycled through. Banana picks up a magnet. He's going to be the first one to have that up his sleeve.
And Node dropping down here with Knight. Numbers definitely favoring Desperado right now, with Banana having a magnet early too. Look at how far ahead he is.
Yeah,
it's quite significant.
Got a surmountable lead over there, and now Promise is up here to absorb a lot of the aggro, hopefully, as Knight's going to speed up, but he gets caught out by the Water Wisp. Banana, he's trying to make a run for it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing that they were, you know, we've talked about a lot, this new strategy.
Ooh.
That was a rough one. Knight is going to be able to pull ahead, though.
Yeah, Banana got a huge setback off that one. He tried to wait for the portal to open, but it didn't work out in his favor. Promise is going to be able to quickly shake away the magnet that was targeting him, but the Water Wisp catches him. Now it's Knight and Move contesting Promise.
Triple lightning and a big banana. Big banana placement pretty good there. Banana, though, hits his namesake. He knows how to dodge those. Oh, that was sick.
Nice.
That was really well played there with the Siren.
Yeah.
But he does not have that magnet anymore. It's Striker who's in position to potentially use that for a magnet rush finish. He's going to be able to shield this lightning, at least part of it here, and come through. Move, Diamond, Node all on his tail. He's got another shield. He's going to have to hold on to it for a little bit longer.
And Striker's also got a magnet up his sleeve, so he'll be able to catch up if Diamond gets too far ahead, which we will see happen because Diamond has double nitrous.
Yeah. All right, Knight also has the, you know, the Magnet Rush combo.
Yeah.
So he's one of the scariest threats here for Desperado. And that shield's not going to do anything against that. They don't have any EMPs. That Wisp, if used correctly, could buy a lot of space, but FreeSky doesn't get the opportunity. Now Lightning's out.
And there's so many magnets.
He's got Magnet Rush. Can he utilize it well? Diamond in a better position.
But he's gonna get spun out by that one, and it looks like Banana, the man, he does it again, and he brings a victory in item round 4. And now Desperado, they take the day 2-0 in sets like they promised.
Yeah, I didn't see who had that shot onto Diamond there, but that was the winning moment. I mean, Banana set it up. He had Magnet Rush, and somebody was watching Promise, or rather Diamond, because they knew he also was setting up for that combo. He went on the high ground, and then he got hit. And that allowed Banana to actually pass him there below. You can see the passes here, you know, a lot on the side of Always because they kept getting so close, but couldn't ultimately maintain it. And the iconic Banana is gonna do something. I'm not sure yet. I thought he was gonna do a celebration, but not really actually. But that's okay because he's happy. He's always happy. And we're happy to see Desperado bounce back after what was a tough loss last week.
Certainly.
And for Always, postseason has never felt further away.
For Always, it's looking as grim as it can be. Honestly, if you go back to the drawing board, the problem has been the speed. They need to step it up. They can't keep relying on item and ace match to win. And unfortunately, without winning in that item today, there's no shot at the ace. So Desperado took a quick win in speed, 3-0 and 3-1 for item.
Yeah. Very quick speed. Item got a little bit more competitive, but Desperado looking good in item. That's what they're most famous for. I think we saw some improvements from them in speed as well, to be honest. Like, they looked better today than they have in a lot of their other games this season. So, again, strength of opponent is different here against Always, but if they can tighten that up, I mean, maybe they could be one of the secret OP teams that goes through postseason. But this is a win they needed to take. They absolutely could not have been upset here, and of course, the reverse is true for Always. They really desperately needed this, and now it feels pretty doomed to make that wild card spot. Desperado, a team that is a big fan favorite. I think one of the more popular teams in the West, especially. And they'll take this momentum forward. This will put them at 3-2, currently ahead of Live Sandbox. If Live Sandbox loses their match against Sungnam Rocks, that'll put Desperado in top 4.
Desperado definitely looking like the team out of all our amateur rosters that will make it to that postseason. And today was a really great day for Desperado because when it comes to this team and speed, you have to keep your eyes on Ghost and Striker because those two duos are the most aggressively contesting that 1-2 win condition for their team. And today we've seen them pull it off beautifully, you know. They were able to sweep out their opponents in the opportune timings. So you can see their form is really on point right now.
FreeSky definitely looking really good today.
Yep.
I think one of the big standouts for me. But we do, of course, guys have 3 team matches today. That was just our first of the 3. We are going to be coming back with Sungnam Rocks against Live Sandbox, a must-win for both of these teams. Live Sandbox having a bit of a struggle this season. Sungnam Rocks kind of on the up and up. So if Live Sandbox end up losing this, I think it's going to say a lot about the doubters, right? The doubters, because we talked about earlier, there are the supporters and the doubters.
There certainly are both, mixed into the bag. Live Sandbox, as you said, they're having such a tough time. But if they win against Sungnam Rocks, I feel like that's what matters, because right now you need the momentum going forward, and you can kind of just forget about the past unfortunate events.
Yeah, and we have seen Live Sandbox, bounce back in a big way in previous seasons, especially in Kart Rider League. But we are going to take a short break, guys. When we come back, that matchup we just talked about will be up soon.
Simple